A very good afternoon to one all. In the last previous classes, we are studied about pacemakers and defibrillators. Okay, and from today we have to discuss about therapeutic devices. Therapeutic devices, and the therapeutic devices. The first one is audiometers. The first one is audiometers. So therapeutic and prosthetic devices. Prosthetic, therapeutic, and prosthetic devices. Okay, so we will see what is this meaning of these two words. So what is the meaning of therapeutic and prosthetic? So therapeutic means the branch of medicine concerned with the treatment of disease and action of remedial agents. So it is a therapeutic means is a branch of medicine which concerned with the treatment of disease. So we have to do some treatment to the disease and do some action remedial agents. So we have to do some actions according to the disease. So we have to provide some treatment to the disease. Okay. So discussion of about that we can consider as a therapeutic. And the devices which are used for a therapeutic process or for that particular treatment, so those are called as therapeutic devices. And the next one is prosthetic okay, prosthetic devices. So prosthetic, it means so denoting an artificial body part such as a limb, okay, or a heart lung machine. Okay. So here we have to create an artificial body part in prosthetic. Okay, so prosthetic devices means so the instruments or devices so which are artificially developed, and those artificially developed parts are nothing but the corresponds to our human body. So just like examples are a limb, okay, okay, and a heart. So there is a heart lung machine is there, heart lung machine. So when we are doing certain operations in the heart surgery, so we have to use this heart lung machine. So just like it will works as a heart and lungs system. So how the generation of the pumping of the blood to the lungs and lungs to heart. Okay. So that is like we can provide the artificially. We can we can develop a body part. So that body part is functions like that particular actual body part. Okay. So and those devices are called as prosthetic devices. Prosthetic devices. Okay. So in today's we'll see. Okay. So an artificial body part is nothing but a prosthesis. An artificial body part is nothing but a prosthesis. Okay. And so the major use of medical electronics is in diagnostic medicine. Okay. So we have to some medical electronics are there. So the electronics which are used in the medical field. Okay. So that is medical electronics, and those electronic devices are used for diagnostic of the medicine. So diagnosis. So for particular application, okay. So we can use these electronics. Medical electronics are used to develop the certain devices. Okay. So with that we can diagnose the medicine. So how this will be operate, and how these equipments or the medical electronics will be helpful for the diagnosis of the medicine. So by the application of the medicine to the patient, how it will be responding. Okay, that will be determined by medical electronics. Okay, and then next one is, there is a class of medical electronic devices that are useful therapeutically or as prosthesis. So certain instruments, that is medical electronic devices, okay, medical electronic devices, and that are useful for this therapeutically or as a prosthesis. That means, so we can create an artificial device, or which can be used for the treatment of the diseases. The devices which are used for the treatment of the devices, or it can be used for development or used for the artificial body part. Development of artificial body part. We can use this medical electronic devices. Okay. So the examples are, the first one is electric stimulators. Electric stimulators. So this is nothing but the voltages which are applied to the heart muscles. Okay, like in terms of pacemakers, in terms of defibrillators. So that will be comes under the category of stimulators. So we are applying some sort of electric signals. It is in terms of pulses or in terms of shock. If it will be applied in terms of pulses, it is pacemaker. If it is in terms of shock, like short pulses, then we can say it is a defibrillators. And incubators and ventilators. So these are oxygen supplying devices. So ventilators are used for the providing the oxygen in the respiration theory, respiration systems we are seeing the ventilators. So by using ventilators, it will be applies the oxygen to the patient, okay, properly. And the next one is heart lung machine. Heart lung machine. So it is also useful one while performing the heart surgeries. Okay. So while performing heart surgeries, we have to uh, we have to disconnect the, or we have to bypass these valves, the pipelines, that is arteries and veins should be bypassed. Okay, so if you do not bypass that one, so the blood is continuously coming to different parts of the body. So in such situation, it is difficult to do the operations, that is bypass surgery. Okay, so bypass surgery, heart bypass surgery. Okay, that is done by using the heart lung machines. Okay, so the blood from the different parts of the body will be bypassed through this heart lung machine. Okay, so through that we can perform the surgeries, heart surgeries. And similarly, we have an artificial kidneys also. Nowadays, we can see so many hospitals providing dialysis. Dialysis. It means when a patient's kidneys are unable to purify the um, purify his water content, or okay, so that leads to failure of the kidneys. So when the kidneys are failure, so it does not filter the water content. Okay, so the, for that they are developed in artificial kidneys. So those artificial kidneys will function like our kidneys. Okay, and according to that, it will be provides the same purification of the water. And similarly, we have an audiometers. So audiometers are used to identify the how much our hearing capabilities. So So some persons will be deaf will be there. Okay. So and for them, so we have to identify how much level they are unable to hear. So they how much loss of the hearing they will be lost. Okay, they will be have, so that losses of the hearing will be determined by audiometers. And next one is hearing aids. Hearing aids. Okay, so for hearing purposes, so it increases the hearing capability. Okay, by using these devices, hearing aids, it will be able to um, he will be able to hear properly. Okay, so and myoelectric arms. So these are artificial arms we can provide. So you may be uh, so myoelectric arms. So out of these, in our syllabus, we are covering audiometers, hearing aids, myoelectric arms, and laparoscope, etc. So like this, these last four devices we will cover in our syllabus in the prosthetic devices. Okay. And today we'll see about the audiometers. So how these audiometers will function and what purpose we have to use this audiometer. So what they will measure. So an audiometer is a machine which is used to determine the hearing loss in an individual. So by using audiometers, we can determine the hearing loss. So up to which level the hearing of the person was lost. Okay. So here we are saying a word that is subject. Subject is nothing but here I am saying a word using I will use the word. So subject is means that subject is having a broad nature. The meaning of that subject word is having a broad nature, that is a person or a patient or a deceased person. Can or suppose a patient came to our hospital, we have to test him. Okay, so for any testing purpose, okay, suppose any CT scan or something that. So how we can how we can uh, how we can call him. Suppose a person or human being came to the some hospital and for the testing purpose, as in the testing of the abdominal by doing ultrasound scan. So how we can how can we can call him? So just for this study purpose. So whether we can call him as a patient, whether we can call him as a normal human being. So for all these purposes, so we will have a word that is subject. Subject. So that means, so the actual thing what we have to do on this particular person, and that person is generally represented or called as a subject. So here we can say that is subject. Okay. So we are doing an test on this particular subject, whether it is human being or non-human being. Okay. So generally we will consider human being is the here it is a subject. So in the coming to audiometers is a machine which is used to determine the hearing loss in an individual. Acuity of hearing, acuity of hearing can be measured with the help of an instrument is called an audiometer. So it is also you have to measure the loss of the hearing. Okay, and by using that instrument is called as audiometer. And the basic audiometers is an oscillator driving a pair of earphones and is calibrated in terms of frequency, acoustic power, which can adjust it over the audio range. So we can say a basic audiometer. A basic audiometer is nothing but, so first of all, how we can test a person is hearing or not. So how much level he has the ability of hearing. So that will be done by providing some providing some sound signals to him. So whether it is in terms of the speech signal, whether it is in terms of the music signal, or it is in terms of intensity. So intensity of the signal should be changes. If the like that we can test him. So for that, so a pair of earphones, okay, so and an oscillator. So oscillator driving a pair of earphones. So we will have an oscillator. So and that oscillator will produces the signals. Okay, and those signals, okay, and those signals will be applied to the earphone. When a person or subject, here I am saying that subject, so a person, okay, that subject is having these earphones, okay, when we apply this signals, so up to how much level he is able to listen. So we will slowly increase the level of the applying signals. We will increase the level of the applied signals. That is what will increase the intensity of the signal. Intensity of the signal. That is in terms of the frequency. So if the frequency of the signals is increases, then the the signals will be goes through the ear. Okay, and according to that his hearing abilities, so he is able to hear. Okay, so that will be determined by using the audiometer, and the this audiometer is calibrated in terms of frequency, acoustic power. So that ability of the hearing ability can be calibrated in terms of the frequency, acoustic power, and it is in terms of audio range. So generally we can hear in the audio frequency range only. Okay, so generation of audio frequency signals will be provided by an oscillator. We can consider RC oscillator. We can consider an RC oscillator. Okay, and so audiometers provides a calibrator, a noise source, and a bone conductivity vibrators. So generally, an audiometer will, in addition this oscillator and also the earphones, so they also provides a calibrator, so noise source and a bone conductor vibrators. Okay, so here so in addition to oscillator and earphone, so we have to also use it provides a calibrator. So what is the main purpose of calibration is, so it compares the actual generating signal with the standard signal. So we are applying some oscillator. We are applying signal from the oscillator. So whether that signal is generating properly or not. So we have to compare it to some other calibrator. Okay. So by using other source, so with that we can generating signal is providing that much of frequency. Okay. So whether it will not produce that much of frequency, we have to adjust the frequency. Okay. So by using some non-frequency signal, we will compare the frequency of this audiometer. So that particular arrangement we can call it as a calibrator. So we will compare the actual signal with some standard frequency signal. And second one is noise source. So while checking the hearing ability of one ear, then we have to make other ear should not listen anything. That means we have to make that particular ear should be closed. Suppose we are finding the hearing ability of a left ear. In such situation, we have to close the second ear. So closing means maybe some sort of noise, maybe some sort of air maybe goes inside. It is not possible. So that's why we'll provide some noise signal. So by the noise we will apply it. Okay. So by that noise signal, so we will masking the second ear. We will mask the second ear. Okay. And by masking this second ear, we will test the ability of the another ear. So for that purpose, the noise signal source is also provided by an audiometer. So audiometers consist of two channels. So generally, audiometers will consist of two channels. So channel 1 has pure tone or speech output. Channel 1 has pure tone or speech output. Second channel has either narrow band or wide band marking signal. Second channel has either narrow band or wide band marking signal. The independent attenuators and transducers exist for each channel. So after generating these signals from the oscillators, we cannot directly apply that much amount of the signals to the ear. So we have to make decrease of those generated signals. I mean amplitudes we can decrease, and for that we have to use the attenuators. So attenuator function is decreasing of the amplitude. Okay, and by that we can decrease the amplitudes, and for that we are using a 10 ohms resistors for for producing the attenuators. We will use the 10 ohms resistors, and through that attenuator circuits, after that the signals are applied to the subject. Okay, so whose ear capability is to be determined. Okay. And also we have transducers. Okay, so these transducers exist for each channel. So the transmission of the sound, how the transmission of sound will be occurs in ear. So that we will see here. So the transmission of sound through the external and middle ear to the internal ear is called air conduction. So you may study it in initial stages of maybe. Okay. So here ear can be divided into three parts. One is external ear, middle ear, and internal ear. Okay. So the transmission of the sound, the transmission of the sound through the external, middle, and internal ear is called as air conduction. Air conduction. Okay. So it means the sound transmission. So sound signal will be traveled through the entire ear can be considered as an air conduction. The transmission of sound to the internal ear via an electromechanical vibrator applied to the mastoid bone is called bone conduction. So the transmission of sound to the internal ear via an electromechanical vibrator applied to the mastoid bone is called bone conduction. Bone conduction. Okay. Bone conductor contains a piezoelectric transducer. So we are studied in transducers. So there is a piezoelectric transducer which converts the sound energy into electrical energy and the electrical energy into sound, vibrations. Okay. So here the piezoelectric material will be converts the sound signals, that is vibration of the sound, it will converts into electrical signal. So for that purpose, bone conductor will contain a piezoelectric transducer. Loudspeakers deliver auditory stimuli which converts electrical signals to audible vibrators. So here we have additionally we have in our externally we have loudspeakers, and those loudspeakers will deliver the auditory voltage. I mean stimuli. Here we can stimuli is nothing but applying some sort of stimulation. Okay, so it will create some sort of voltages, okay, which converts the electrical signals to audible vibrations. Electrical signals will be converted into the audible vibrations. A permanent record of an audiometer is called as an audiogram. Permanent record of an audiometer. So while measuring this hearing ability, okay, or the hearing loss, so we will record that variations while applying the signals to the person. Okay, so up to what level he is able to listening. Okay, so that will be recorded on a sheet of the record sheet. Okay, and on that we can produce the waveform. Okay, and that particular record of the permanent record of audiometer is nothing but the audiogram. So generally audiometers are classified as. So I will show you. So the first initially the audiometer was developed by Becquerel. Okay, so based on his name, the system was called as Becquerel audiometer. Becquerel audiometer. So in an audiometer, the sound intensity in an earphone is gradually increased until the sound is perceived by the subject. So in this audiometer, how we can measure means, first of all, the sound intensity. Okay, so we will give the earphones to the subject or whose hearing loss to be determined, that subject, okay, that person. So we will use the earphones and slowly increase the intensity of the sound signal. Okay, so up to what intensity he is able to hear, so that will be, or the sound is perceived by that particular subject or person. Okay, okay, so that particular intensity is the main, we have to give the hearing ability of the person. Okay, so during measurement the other ear is masked by a neutral stimulus. So while performing measurement we have to mask the another ear. So okay, so we have to mask the another ear while measuring with another first ear. Okay, we have 2 ears, so while performing the measurement with 1 ear, so another ear should be masked. The threshold of hearing is determined at a number of frequencies. The threshold of hearing threshold, here we can pronounce that is hearing threshold, or threshold of hearing. Okay, that can be determined at a number of frequencies. So different frequency levels we can change. So the signals frequency intensity, the frequency of the signals will be changes. By changing different frequency signals, we can determine the hearing ability. So that is in terms of hearing threshold. And this process is automated in the Becquerel audiometer. So it is shown below figure. So Becquerel audiometers. So here this is the so here we have a control switch. So this is the control switch, and these are the headphones. These are the headphones, and here we have a reversible motor. And this is the audio generator. This is audio generator. From the audio generator, the signal will be applied to the volume control. Okay, and from this volume control, the signal is applied to the headphones, applied to the headphones. From this volume control, the audio signal will be applied to the headphones. By this volume control, we can control the applied signal intensity. Okay. And the other end of volume control is connected to a recording chart. On the recording chart, there is a pen is connected. Okay. So and that wheel is connected to a, see here. The extension of the volume control is connected to a rotating wheel, and that rotating wheel is connected to a pen, and this pen will be able to rotate. Okay, able to produce the waveform on the paper chart. Okay, paper. Okay. And this paper is able to rotate. Okay, move. Okay. Rotatable paper. Okay. And here we have. So first of all, we have to check. We have to give the headphones to the subject, and we will close this control switch. By closing this control switch, it will connect to the motor, and this motor will be rotates. Okay, this motor will be rotates. Okay, that makes the motor will be rotates. Okay, that makes the volume control. That makes this volume control also able to increases. Okay, suppose we are connected this supply to the motor, and motor will be rotates. Then what happens? The attached volume control will be also rotates, and due to that, the applied signal, the applied audio signal will be applied is connected to the headphones, and by rotating this volume control, okay, so by rotating this volume control, the intensity of the signal is also intensity of the sound signal is also increases. When one particular stage, okay, one particular intensity level, that person will be audible that particular sound. Okay, so where that particular sound is identified, at that moment we will open this switch. We will open the control switch. By opening this control switch, the motor supply will be stopped. When the motor supply will be stopped, this motor will be rotated in the reverse direction. Okay, and due to that, the attached volume, the attached audio signal intensity will be decreases. Okay, so these variations will be recorded by the pen on the paper. If the volume intensity is increases, the intensity of this audio signal is increases, at that moment this volume will be also rotates. That rotation of this volume will be also makes this attached pen will be writes on the paper, causes this pen will be writes over the paper. Okay, so like this we can perform the number of times, number of opening and closing of the switch. So by closing this switch, this motor will rotates. By rotating this motor, makes the volume control increases, and again it will be applies the audio generator signal. Okay, so that will be applied to the headphones. So headphones is the person which is wearing these headphones will be identified that intensity sound, and according to that we will open the switch. When he was perceived that sound, so then we will open this switch. Okay, so when it will be open, the supply to the motor will be stopped, and the motor will be come back its position. So and from the closing and stopping of this switch, so that variations, okay, volume control variations are recorded on the graph sheet. Okay, and that one is called as audiogram. Okay, like this the first Pekese audiometer. So this is the construction of the Pekese audiometer. So after that, so many advanced technologies came. Okay, so that we'll see next slides. In order to perform a measurement, the subject first press the control button. So this is performed by individually. So there is no separate doctors are not required. So suppose a person should be press control button. Okay, first press the control button. It makes starting of reversal motor. The motor will be rotates, and it drives a volume control potentiometer and increases the amplitude of the stimulate signal. So here stimulate signal is nothing but the audio signals, audio frequency signals, and those audio frequency signals intensity or amplitude will be increases by increasing the or driving the volume control potential. So this is the volume control potentiometer. Okay. And the subject then releases the button. So once he was able to receiving that signal, so then he will be open the switch, and opening the switch, it makes the motor reverses. So it means that motor will be able to, if the when apply the voltage, it will be rotates. When the voltage is released, so or stopped, then the motor will be rotates in the reverse direction. Like that, the motor arrangement is there. Okay. So by operating the switch in alternately open and close, the subject maintains the volume at a level at which the tone can just be heard. So by doing repeatedly the number of times opening and closing and testing, so by that we can identify at what level he is able to hear that particular sound. So that is in terms of the intensity in at what level that person is able to hearing. So that will be confirmed by doing number of times of this test. So this test is performed performed within 50 minutes. So a pen connected to the volume mechanism draws a line on a moving paper. Okay. So the volume control is connected to a pen. At the same time, the paper drive mechanism is linked to the instrument's frequency control and slowly changes the frequency of the tone. And this paper drive mechanism is linked to the frequency control. Okay. And the frequency control, by that the frequency will be changes. Applied signal frequency is changes. Within 50 minutes, the recording called an audiogram is obtained. So within 50 minutes, the process will be complete. That is testing. Okay. The resultant curve corresponds directly to the hearing loss as a function of frequency. So the resultant curve corresponds to directly to the hearing loss as a function of frequency. So in this lecture, we are